So if you change your thinking to my life is fixed, and then repeat that, and then I win at everything, and repeat that, the mindset shift is how you get free. I promise you, everyone says that, and it's cliche, but I lived it. Like, I said so long, I'm gonna fix my life, didn't fix my life.
Yeah.
And then 2021 comes around, I'm on the verge of like bankruptcy. Bitcoin taught me that. I literally, Bitcoin taught me that. If debt is money and you can't be happy with debt or extra money, then obviously what's going on is any outsourcing of responsibilities you do in real life is gonna make you less and less and less and less happier. Unless you start owning and verifying. They think the government is there to help them. And they think that this paper dollar is going to eventually, they're gonna work 40 plus years, 50 plus years, 60 plus years in the hopes that inflation will go down. And I'm like, it's never gonna go down. They're all zombies because of things like food, money, time, energy, everything. And you're just there, you're just sitting there like, how am I gonna get free? Well, maybe start with your health, and then maybe question the money, and then maybe question, these societal norms that are pushed on you. I'm gonna tell you something really, it's a hot take, but I think you need to bring bullying back. Bullying back.
I agree.
Bring bullying back. Yeah, like, screw it, man. Bring bullying back. You know why? Because, like, bullying was a way to get the weird kids to stop being weird. Bull runs in gold and silver usually predict turmoil in the world, war and stuff. Copper never goes to all-time highs when that happens. Now you have copper at all-time highs. Like, The market is so retarded. It does not make any sense.
All right, welcome to the Bitcoin broadcast. I'm your host, Vince. Today we've got on Journeyman. I was about to just say JM. Journeyman. Hey, man, second time around. Yeah, the first time was a little rough because I went to go edit it, and, like, I was asking you a question, and then you would start answering in the middle of my question because, like, the voices were all fucked up and stuff. So I was like, we got to record another one. And then, of course, you're, like, slightly sick, a little irritated, quitting nicotine, quitting booze, quitting everything, getting healthy. So hopefully this one goes better. But
Yeah.
how are you doing today? Are you surviving?
I feel like I'm thriving, to be honest. Like, breathing is great. I haven't had shortness of breath in so long, man. I was like, wow. Why didn't I do this such a long time ago? And honestly, like, escapism is part of it, right? Stress and everything that happens, and then you go through your ups and downs, and your downs can be pretty bad, and then you're like, okay, well, I gotta escape the downs, so then I go to the substances, and then it ends up being a dark, dark tunnel path, and then you're like, well, where's the light? Because it's just not there, you know?
Dude, when
Um,
I quit alcohol, I swear, like, the weirdest feeling was first you kind of deal with you used to drink during celebrations, and there's always a reason to celebrate, right? It's Friday. Okay, let's drink. It's Saturday, a ball game, Sunday, football, like a holiday, birthdays, something. There's always something to drink. And then so you got to get over that. What I didn't expect was the times when you're sad or like something bad happens. I always used to suppress my feelings with alcohol. And so it was like you had to find like I had to deal with my feelings. Like, as gay as that
yeah,
sounds, I had to deal with my own feelings, and I was like, who do I talk to? Like, I just talked to my wife because I was like, I don't have friends. And then I was like, I don't know, like, what do you do? I was like, so I just turned to like the gym, and I was like,
yeah,
I'm just going to deal with my feelings at the gym. If I'm irritated, I'm just going to go work out. If I'm stressed, I'm going to go for a walk. And then it was like, I started like eating sweets and stuff, just downing cookies and
oh,
like
man, yeah.
comfort food. And I was like, okay, well, that's not healthy either. So
Yeah, it's not.
it's a weird journey, man, trying to quit all this stuff. And I'm proud of you for doing it. And how much,
Thanks, man.
I mean, you said 6 days?
Yeah, it's at 6 days now. And I still wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, dude. And I think I got caught a cold at the same time. So, like, it kind of combined. The combo of getting a cold is not making me wanna hit it because my chest is already congested, and then I'm already quitting. So I was like, okay, maybe there's a good here. And I was the same way, like the exact same thing you said. No emotional kind of awareness. For example, like, I'll drive, somebody cuts me off, super angry, hit a babe, you know? And it's like, well, what is that, right? Like, you can't just This is the year where I just thought to myself, I'm like, man, I've been outsourcing all of my emotional kind of energy for so long that I have this entire logical framework in my mind on how to live. And it makes sense. And in that logical framework, obviously not smoking, not drinking, not doing any of this is there, but the emotions don't follow through because I've never actually been aware of the emotions. And, we're out here talking about awareness and Bitcoin, how it increases awareness. And then here I am being like a hypocrite you know? And that was the turning point. Actually, the biggest turning point was this year. My mom caught me, and that was tough. That was tough. Now I see her face every single time I like my friends smoke. I see her disappointed face, and it's just like it's such a trigger now for me to like. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't need her. I don't need her looking at me like that anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's painful too. I mean, you're like, you don't want to disappoint anyone, and then like then you physically feel it because you're there's like literally toxins leaving your body, and you're just like
yes,
it
well, it's uncomfortable,
it's
right?
kind of
It's super
oh yeah,
uncomfortable.
yeah, yeah, but it's freeing. Like you just got to make it like a week or two, and then it's just like, and then of course, yeah, you got sick on top of it, so that doesn't help. I don't know, maybe it's a blessing, like you said, in disguise, where it's like, hey, I don't even want to smoke the vape because I have a cold, but. I don't know. I just remember quitting and I got like night sweats. I was like shivering. I was like, man, what the fuck? Like my body's just not used to this. And yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's happening to me right now, dude. I'm sitting here like 3 layers, and it's like, what is the temperature? It's like 5, 2, 3 degrees Celsius outside right now, and I'm freezing, bro. I'm never freezing like this, Even at the gym, like I went yesterday, I was so weak. I was like, yeah, I'm eating properly and my weight's increasing, but I can't hit any of the stupid weights because I'm so tired and drained and depleted. And like even see, I'm talking right now. I'm taking deep breaths. I never used to be able to do that. Um, and do actually think that it's increasing not only the night sweats are so crazy, bro. I was sweating. My entire couch. I slept on the couch because I just didn't want to go anywhere near my room and get my dog sick. And I know that's not how that works, but still, it's in my mind. And I slept on the couch. I woke up this morning, the entire thing is soaking wet, and it's like, what the hell happened? Like, how much water did like, what is going on? And I just keep pushing through
Yeah. Well,
because
I'm proud of you.
because oh, thanks so much, man. Thanks so much, dude. I do think uncomfortability is the key to growth. And Tico, guy on Twitter, always says it. It'll stay with me forever. Growth reduces risk, right? So and then that's a very interesting concept to play with because, like, okay, now you want emotional growth. So you start becoming more aware of your emotions, and then you start instead of hitting the vape, for example, or smoking weed or drinking alcohol, you take a few deep breaths and you're like, on the go. Like, I'm the GOAT. Like, I could just do this. I can sit with my emotions for 10 seconds and it'll pass, you know? Um, and that whole 10-second time frame is the hardest time frame for everybody that's smoking or drinking. But that's such a like a short time frame mindset, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, we're Bitcoiners and we got this long time frame. Um, we're not doing this in real life. So now I'm fully advocating for like I'm not doing this again. I'm just so I don't want my kids in the future, if I ever even have them, knowing that I did it, and I won't let them do it. And like, just I don't want to see my mom's face again the same, and I don't want that to be my face when I look at my kids, in the future. I don't even have kids and I'm still thinking about stuff like this. So long time frame. So this year we're just gonna go sober. And what that's gonna do is not only just elevate the emotional playing field, but it's gonna set you above everybody else. That's kind of just on a lower energetic field and it's a lonely path. But, you know, that 10-second thing I was talking about, super hard, but you know what's also hard? Not doing it, right? And then you could just pick your hard. And then, so what do you want? You want the low energetic plane with the head rush or the buzz or the numbing feeling to be quote unquote creative? Or do you want to actually be creative and just get to this higher energetic field and look at everyone like observer observing the observation or something like that, you know? You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah. Yeah. No, it's, I mean, it's exactly like you said. Choose your hard. I mean, being drunk and waking up hungover is hard. It sucks. It sucks. And then like your entire day sucks. So then you go home and you drink again. just to numb that feeling of like my day sucked, so I want to drink it, and then it sucks. And then the same thing with nicotine. It's just like everything sucks, and then you hit it, and then you feel what 10% better or something, and you're like, okay, that's good. Yeah, no. So we're just gonna raw dog 2026.
Yeah, dude, like I actually used to be the guy that will go into the gym and be like, people would be like, "Oh, you're baked," and I'd be like, "Yeah," because like you take pre-workout for the gym, you might as well take some pre-workout for life. Because who's raw dogging life? And then I was saying stuff like this to people, and I'm like, wow, that's such a delusional concept. Because you can raw dog the gym and still get gains if you could just come into like the energy bank in your soul and just take it, right? It's there and you can use it anytime you want. Um, but we're out here outsourcing our energy, our responsibilities, our emotions to this dumb device. And cigarettes, by the way, same thing happened 50 years ago. Everyone was just like, it's fine, it's healthy, socially cool, it's chill, it's vibes. And 50 years later, they're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do this. No, duh.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna like 50 years from now, you're gonna have people just randomly dropping dead from vape hits.
Yeah, no,
Um,
dude, vaping is awful. I'm so glad I didn't pick up smoking. That's like one habit that I never picked up, and I'm so glad I didn't.
yeah, don't, don't.
Dude, how was your 2025? I haven't talked to anyone since the new year and been like, let's like recap 2025. Dude, Bitcoin wise, life wise, how was 2025?
Oh man, 2025 was my escape velocity year
What do you mean?
in terms of just lifestyle and living. Before 2025, for about I'd say 6 years, I was struggling financially, I was struggling mentally, I was struggling physically. And there were lots of things that kind of led up to it, like, breaking up with love of my life and then, well, quote unquote, but like, because who makes you choose between family and a girl? Like, I'm not about that. And, and it's funny because like, a lot of Western values now, they're all about bringing family together. And this girl I was dating was brown, and this girl is just like this pseudo kind of level of thinking on what independence is. She's like, so I broke up with her, and then the week after I lost my job. This was like 2019, I think, or something around that. Week after I lost my job, and the week after that, my grandfather passed away. And then a week after that, I totaled my dream card, flipped like 4 times. It was an Audi S5 that I bought outright. The dumbest thing I've ever done, by the way, is like right out of school, take all of the money. Could you imagine if I'd put in 100K in 2018 in Bitcoin instead of buying this dumbass car? Pisses me off all the time. And I totaled it. Now it's gone. And it's just poof, thin air, right? And then at that point, I was like, wow, I just need to escape reality, those substances. I almost walked off a cliff. Don't advocate for that, but like, just my friend pulled me off and called me a coward. Is like, how dare it? Like, that's when I started actually realizing, this is around 2021, started realizing like, maybe there's some importance to your energy. And you should have conviction in your own energy. Because if you don't have it, who's gonna have it for you? So then I was like, fine, let's like, I'm not gonna quit the substances, but let's like pick up where we left off and let's go win. Because just something flipped in me. I became like a pit bull trying to get its bone. Like I was like, so I gotta fix my life. I gotta fix my life. I gotta fix my life. And that's all I was saying. But what that does, it's like you'll say stuff like, I gotta fix my life. Those words put you into the future, right? Like you eventually will fix your life. But that means like every day just keeps going tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. So if you change your thinking to my life is fixed and then repeat that, and then I win at everything, and repeat that, the mindset shift is how you get free. I promise you, everyone says that and it's cliche, but I lived it. I lived it. Like I said, so long, I'm going to fix my life. Didn't fix my life.
Yeah.
And then 2021 comes around. I'm on the verge of like bankruptcy. Banks are trying to like screw me with mortgages. I had about 4 or 5 houses, a portfolio of 4 or 5 houses in Canada where these tenants stopped paying me rent through COVID. And I'm like dying at this, but like seriously dying. And I'm just going, I got to fix my life. I got to fix my life. I got to fix my life. And it's like, well, when are you going to fix your life if you just got to fix it?
So did you start fixing your life in 2025? Is that what you're telling me? You finally.
No, I started in 2021. 'Cause that's like I had Bitcoin in like 2019, but it's just like small dabble kind of amount. And then 2021, I joined a bunch of spaces on Twitter. And then it was just like Bitcoin. And I was like, what is this thing? And then maybe I should start reading about it. And then back then, 2018, 2017, I'd heard about it too. People call it a scam. And like, I mean, I get it. It's like who's at the beginning of the formation of the internet, for example, even on news networks, they were just like, this is not going to go anywhere, right? But you have this adoption rate, and it just scales because energy. So 2021 is when people started giving me books, and I started reading. And then my mindset reading this stuff was like, okay, well, if I have conviction in my energy already, then I have fixed my life. And so I started in 2021 just writing out all of the problems I had, and then one at a time, or even in parallel circumstances, because things happen in life, right? You just do it. Okay, well, this happened. I'm gonna adapt. It's gonna go here. We'll figure that out later. I'm gonna adapt. It's gonna go here. We'll figure that out later. For this, I'm gonna adapt. It's gonna go here. We'll figure that out later. And then you adapt. It comes to a different point. Like, well, what's my next step now? And people always have the problem with next steps. And I tell people, like, okay, well, your next step is supposed to be virtuous. And what does that mean? Well, if you don't have conviction in your own energy, you'll never know what virtuous means. Because there is a gut instinct that I never used to listen to, because I thought it was like, what is this? Right? Soon as I started listening to it, things started just fixing themselves. Because I was just like, maybe I should just trust this more. Maybe I should just trust myself more. And by 2025, I got it to a point where all of my houses were gone. I'd sold them all, ported everything into Bitcoin, fixed my mortgage situation with my current house, went from a private lender that was giving me 15% interest on a $1 million property. Like, do you understand? That's like,
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I was crying. And then I fixed that, got cash flow, got into Bitcoin, more and more, and stack, just stack, just stack, just stack. And then 2025 arrives, and I'm like, 2024, obviously the bull run happened. And I'm looking at this skyrocketing. I'm like, I'm making money. And I'm like, wow. Like, I thought like the dollar was money, right? And now 2025 hits. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep continuing to figure out ways to make more income, to buy more Bitcoin. This is it, right? And I get it to a point where super positive on returns. Just waiting and hodling. I haven't done anything different. And in that pause of just not doing anything, Bitcoin will make you sit with yourself. It will make you sit with yourself. And it's super uncomfortable. I learned how to sit with myself for hours on end with nobody to talk to. And it forged some level of path. I don't know what it did, to be honest, but like I just moved at such fast pace, and just not thinking about stuff, just doing the things. And then got into a nice job that was paying me better. Fixed my mortgage situation, started stacking more Bitcoin. Now everybody in Canada over here is dying of inflation.
Yeah.
Everything's going through the freaking roof. And I'm here like, it's fine. I have escape velocity. And that's what I mean. In 2025, financially, I have more money that I save, money that I save on a month than I used to in 2024. After all of my bills are paid, mortgages are paid, pet insurance is paid, everything is paid. Like, well, okay, I spent 2021 to 2024 learning about what money was. And I just never realized that, like, people say stuff like, oh, money will never buy you happiness. Well, obviously, because think about this. Like, if you have $1, just $1, and you want to borrow another dollar, just there's $1 in existence, you want to borrow another dollar, how are you gonna do it? You're gonna give me a paper IOU, and you're gonna tell me, here's $1, give me that dollar, I'm gonna return that dollar to you with interest. Usury. That's it. So if you look at the current system today, it's just debt. Money is debt. So obviously money can't buy you happiness. Who's happy in debt? Nobody. So if you were to pay off your entire principal on all of the debt in the entire world, you'd have a small amount of base money left and no monetary currency because it doesn't exist. And then I'm like, okay, well, why am I saving any of this bullshit? Boom, straight to Bitcoin. Boom, straight to Bitcoin. Boom, straight to Bitcoin. And then around middle of 2024, I'm like, okay, well, I still need some money to like go out and, some debt to like go out and party and do things and enjoy life. So I created like a fiat portfolio as well. And then where I get all my gains to my degen gambling trades to just pay for my stupid adventures. Like, I'll just go places for no reason. I'll just sell some of that portfolio, go places for no reason. Because you can, right? It's like, who's stopping me? Nobody. And that's what I mean by escape velocity. You get it to a point. And now today I'm here like, wow, I had so much energy in my conviction, even though I did it with substances. Imagine how much more better I could have been if I just didn't do the substances, right? Now this is more, even more conviction. So now I'm going through this process of this entire year, just nothing, because Bitcoin taught me that. I literally Bitcoin taught me that. If debt is money and you can't be happy with debt or extra money, then obviously what's going on is any outsourcing of responsibilities you do in real life is going to make you less and less and less and less happier unless you start owning and verifying the thing that you're trying to do. So that comes to emotions, like somebody cuts you off driving, you want to hit a vape. And then it's just like, well, that's an outsource of responsibility of your emotions to this device that's only killing you. Debt. You've just taken your energy source from the future to give you 10 seconds of relief, but you killed yourself in the long run. And that can be like, now that shaped so much of my thought process in 2024 in terms of like AI as well. Not against AI. I was in a space yesterday with Brood and Biddy. Phenomenal space. Opened my eyes, blind spots on stuff that I usually do. Because this entire 7-year process shaped my entire thinking, right? 2024 was me brute forcing my way to truth. Uh, and that was me like going up to people and being like, well, this is your idea. Let's talk about it. Why are you stacking assumptions on this idea? Because the more assumptions you stack, the more you attach your identity to this specific thing that you want to discuss. So let's strip those assumptions and let's kind of just talk about it. Let's ask why. Let's ask if you can verify it. Let's ask if you can take responsibility for it. Let's ask if you can own it. Anything, right? The idea, those questions are so uncomfortable to people. And I know this because it was so uncomfortable to me because my entire identity I questioned for 7. And so 2024 was just an era of questioning myself over and over and over and over again until something clicked like, okay, everybody is stacking, even me, assumptions on ideas, right? Is there a different perspective somewhere? And then you start researching, you start doing the proof of work to figure out the answer. You see multiple perspectives. And then you choose the one that your gut tells you to go with. Boom, virtuous path. Now you just go with it, right? And so now 2025, even though 2024 was an era of questioning, I think 2025 is an era of verification. We questioned everything. Now let's verify it. Now let's actually take the responsibility of our actions, of our money, of our life, of our energy, of family, of anything you can think about, really. Because how much do you outsource? AI, for example, people are outsourcing their entire identity to it. And I'm not against AI. I'm not against AI. I use it every day. I use it every day. But like it will give me something. I'll ask it for another opinion. I'll ask it for another opinion. And I don't tell it to equivocate and still does it. So why do I trust it? How am I going to verify this thing, this idea? So then, okay, so AI gives me something, and this is why I'm on social media, because now I have this idea that I don't want to stack assumptions on. Let me go battle test it in public, because now you're taking responsibility of what you're thinking and what you're doing instead of just sitting there like, woohoo, mental masturbation, you know?
So you're saying 2025 was good.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Very good. And 2026 is the catapult.
There we go.
Yeah, very good. I just had to explain that. I don't know. I have never actually said that out loud many times before. Like I say this stuff and I'm like, well, now it actually propels me to do, not even do more, but just pause and just think and actually ask why. And then once you've battle tested the why, just do the thing. So, and that you're only allowed. I would say you're only allowed to do that. Energy will only allow you to do that once you've taken responsibility for your own energy. Otherwise, no one's gonna respect you. No one's gonna look up to you. No one's gonna listen to a thing you say, and you'll go through what I did. People leaving, things leaving, like important things that I held identity to leaving.
Well, we should talk about that because it's kind of money doesn't buy happiness. Inflation, you made it through. You kind of corrected. You reflected on yourself and kind of pushed yourself through, and you found Bitcoin along the way. And I guess you could say it saved you. I don't know. That almost sounds cultish, religious, but that's okay. But it helps.
That's okay.
It helps. You know, it helps. In fiat land, Bitcoin is amazing. But I think that's a big problem that a lot of people are facing right now with inflation. Even though, okay, the inflation numbers have come down, prices aren't skyrocketing constantly, right? Like, not as much as they were like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I feel
Yeah,
like
sure.
that's when prices were really like, you'd go to the supermarket and you were like, holy shit. But now it's like, all right, I've kind of they're still going up, but not as fast. Like, it still sucks, but I feel like people are still like people are really starting to feel it now because you've burned through your savings, you've burned through your energy, you're exhausted. Like, your money doesn't go as far. Your boss came around, last year or this year and was like, "Hey, here's, your 3% raise." And you're like, "Sweet, so I make an extra like $25 per paycheck. Like, congrats."
Yeah.
It's like pathetic. And then I mean, how are people making it through that don't have Bitcoin? Cuz you're like, "Where's like what do you do? You find another job?"
I know some people. I know some people that I work with who are making over six figures a year that are lining up at food banks right now,
Really? That's
and I'm like,
tough. Yeah, I mean,
how does that even happen? Because like 20 years ago, I thought to myself, man, one day I'll make 100K per year. It'll be so amazing.
yeah.
And it's like, where's nothing now? It's
No.
like you're not even middle class.
No, dude,
You're not even middle
I
class.
was thinking about that today, about how my wife, she's the sole owner for our family right now, and she went from making 60K, and then so she like more than doubled her salary in the past 3 years, and we still feel like we're poor. Like, it's wild that to think that, like, she makes good money, and I don't mind talking about money because I think people should talk about money because that's what makes people uncomfortable, but fuck it. Like, you should talk about money. You should talk about how much you make and why other people make more and how they make more. I think that's very important
Exactly.
because people are always so quiet about it, and all the bosses are talking about it, and they're talking about how to pay you less because you don't talk about money. So anyway, that's a little rant. You should talk about money. So anyway, my
Yeah.
wife, she makes a certain amount of money now. She's doing pretty well. Six figures, right? Six figures 10 years ago used to be middle class, no problem. You can buy a house, you're living comfortably. And now six figures, and it's like there's some months, man, where I'm like, man, my car needs fixed. There's an extra 2 grand out the window. You need, I don't know, doctor's appointment. There's an extra grand out the window for something stupid because insurance, God forbid, doesn't cover anything. And then you're like, anything happens, and then the end of the month comes, and I'm like, I don't have freaking money. And we're making the most money I've ever made in my life as a family, and sometimes we go through and we're like, man, we're struggling still. Like, this is insane. How is this possible? And I just don't know how normal people are doing it because the one thing that I have in the back of my head is I still have my Bitcoin. I'm still stacking sats. And sure, I could stop buying so much Bitcoin and okay, I could have more money left over at the end of the month, but I don't want to. But that's
Yeah.
my saving grace. That's my savings. I'm saving that for later because this is only going to get worse. It's not like this is going to get better unless somehow I sell some product for $1 million or like my wife becomes a CEO of some company. Like, it's only going to get worse, like, not better. So yeah, I have to save it in a currency that's going to continue to go up because what else can I do? And I just don't know what other people are doing right now and how they're surviving. It's
I'm sorry, man. Like I understand. Or I do understand. I do understand what you're going through because I even today I still go through that. I might have escape velocity, but it's just like everything's more expensive. Everything is so much more expensive. One car, for example, you said like one car breaks down or has like an engine problem or something. Boom, 2K out the window. And just the other day found a couple of mice in my house. Now I got to go get some pest control folk. That's another 500 out the window.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's just
like
one minor inconvenience is just like it can kind of ruin your month. I mean, it's
yeah.
frustrating.
And and then what happens is, I don't think normal people they're surviving, dude. What's happened over my analysis of this is we've as humans we used to be in creative mode is what I would say. Like our entire life, for example, when we're born.
I, lo- I lost you. I'm losing you.
Are we good?
Yeah, yeah, we're good.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's like we were super creative, we were thriving. Uh and as you said, I'm saving money for the future that I need, but they continue devaluing it. Um so now you switch from creative mode to survival mode and everyone's a freaking living zombie. They are.
Well,
And that's what I
I,
see.
I agree. I think people are just like like NPCs. They're just like zombieing around right now. And I mean we've said this before, like people are they see it. They see their life getting worse and they don't know why. But I'm starting to see people really, really get involved in politics. I've never seen people this involved in politics. Like everyday people now are like posting every day about politics. And I think it's because everyone's looking for like that savior. And
Yeah.
that's, it's your Lord and Savior, the government, and then they turn around and tax you 40%. And I'm like, what are people gonna do? How do we turn this around? Because 40%, that's just, they take that, let's just say 30-40% off the top. They just, haircut you right there, right off the top. And then you go home and that's your money. And so you're working for free, or you're working for the government from January to April, and then you get to keep the rest, but then you don't get to keep the rest because then you have to go and you have to pay taxes on your car, you have to go pay property taxes, you have to pay sales tax. You sell some stock because you finally made some gains, you got to pay taxes on that. Your dad dies and you inherit money, well, there's an inheritance tax. It's like you're taxed everywhere you freaking turn. And I'm like, when's the revolution, man? When
Speaking of the
make
revolution, dude, I
Bitcoin
love what
great
you're saying.
again?
Make it great again. Fight, man. Fight for that. And like peaceful fighting. Cause like this goes back to what I was saying before, is that with whole just debt creation being money, um, what these politicians will do is that they'll, run an election. And then they'll talk about all of these free things they want to give you, like, social credits, healthcare, dental, whatnot, whatever, right? And then it comes to a point where the election's going on and they realize, well, we don't have enough money to actually fund this. So then they'll go to the Federal Reserve or whatever, and then they'll continue the money printing. And then the Federal Reserve will then just use the treasury bonds or whatever to, make interest with the banks. Um, and then they'll just tell you that, hey, we need to tax you to pay for all
Paper.
these things.
Yeah.
But they pay for all that stuff with something called deficit spending. I think we talked about this on the
No, no,
timeline.
no, no. Explain it. Explain
Yeah.
it again. You don't have to like say it as eloquently as you typed it because that's always
Yeah.
like, But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, deficit.
But like, what does that mean? Nobody asks what deficit spending means. Like the first time I heard that, I was like, what does that even mean? Is it? It means loss. Spending means spending. So you're spending loss, essentially, if you look at it. So you're spending stuff that's not there. Meaning the government has a blank or a bank account that will write blank checks, um, and the bank account has nothing in it, and they'll still spend it anyways. And then they'll tell you that they're trying to balance the budget. And what that means is that even though you're, running as a politician, you don't actually want your inflation to end while you're in term. No politician wants the inflation to end while you're in term, because if they did, how would they pay for all of the things they promised you? And then if that's why they call it deficit spending, so they spend money that's not there, and then they'll tax you for it, and then they use those taxes to, put it into their own trust funds, put it into, war, put it into, you know, future. Again, it's just a high scale outsource of responsibility all over again. And then so you're like, these people are like, well, I got to vote conservative or liberal because they're going to be my savior, or like Republican or Democrat because one of them's going to be my savior. Well, no, because none of them want none of them want the inflation to end, even when they're in term,
None of them want your.
right?
No. They all need. They all need your money. They all need you. They need you working. And if you're financially independent, you're not. I mean, you're not working. Your money's
You're not
working
working.
for you, or yeah. And so they can't have too many of those people because
So they got to continue drowning you. And I say this all of the time. The formula for power is just a change in energy over time, right? I still stick with this. Formula for power is a change in energy over time. It's like change in energy is just work. Work over time is power, right? And now if you're working a certain amount of time and you're getting paid for it, you're getting power, right? Because it's energetic. It's you've done something that you put blood, sweat, and tears into, and you expect you'd get paid back in something of energetic value. That's what you expect. But and that's what will give you your power, right? And that can be energetic and that can be mathematical. And that can be philosophical and that can be logical, right? You could think about it in so many planes. But if you're getting paid for that change in energy over time in fugazi dollars that don't actually represent your blood, sweat, and tears, but it only represents, again, deficit spending, then what you're doing is you're actually giving away your power to the people that are paying you the fake money. So, so in my mind, people are, they are the ones that give this paper IOU thing value because you think it represents, and they do think that they think the government is there to help them. And they think that this paper dollar is going to eventually, they're going to work 40 plus years, 50 plus years, 60 plus years in the hopes that inflation will go down. And I'm like, it's never going to go down. Like, no politician wants it to go down. $37 trillion of debt now. Wait another 10 years.
Well,
Let's see what happens.
it's funny because if you listen to them, if you listen to the politicians, they'll tell you what they're doing. They'll tell
Yeah.
you, they're going to use different words, but they're telling you, hey, we're going to rob you. We're going to make inflation worse. And
they'll rob you. And then how do they make sure you don't think properly? Well, this comes down to another kind of segment or another rabbit hole where I think for a long period of time they've purposefully de-infantilized men and dehumanized women. So now you have men because of, whatever, food, which is shitty, right? That you also have to pay taxes on. You could go to Walmart. I swear to God, go to Walmart, pick anything. It has like 50 billion chemicals on the ingredient list. What are you eating? Nobody even looks at it. And then your testosterone goes down, you get numbed, you don't know what to do, you become an infant. And then women are put on this pedestal that, they're supposed to be feminine, they're supposed to be they want to be taken care of, but they're dealing with these infantilized men, so now they're more masculine. And now you have masculine women and de-infantilized men.
feminine.
And none of them can meet because it's a civil war and there's so much infighting that they're all zombies because of things like food, money, time, energy, everything. And you're just there. You're just sitting there like, how am I going to get free? Well, maybe start with your health and then maybe question the money and then maybe question, these societal norms that are pushed on you. And then maybe question things like, for example, what's the root origin of words? Like, for example, mortgage. Latin origin of the word mortgage is death will. Death will. You're signing your death will with a mortgage. They tell it to you. They show you, and you're just saying, yeah. Let me take the Latin word. Let me derive some other word from Latin so that they don't know this will be a death. Could you imagine? It's just like a death pledge. Could you imagine if you went to a bank? Yeah, here, please sign this death pledge. You think anybody would sign it? No, they'll be like, here, sign this mortgage document, and no one's gonna question it. No one's gonna question it. Not one person. It's the biggest Ponzi scheme I've seen in my entire life, and I've tried to battle test these ideas. Nobody can tell me how to fix it. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to opt out of this bullshit. That's why I say Bitcoin is freedom versus tyranny, right? Tyranny being this whole political landscape, government landscape, where they just want to steal stuff from you. And then you have Bitcoin, which is actually just giving you, it's storing your value. What else do you want? What else do you want? Like, you want 700% fiat gains? What are you going to do? Sell it? I don't think so. Because, once you realize money is debt and debt is money, why would you want that?
Yeah, what did you say? Why sell it?
Why would you want that? So, I'm here okay, fine. I don't actually agree with anything they say. Any kind of argument I make outside like this, they call me like a conspiracy theorist or just like a communist or whatever. But am I really a communist? Am I really a socialist? Aren't you on the fiat standard, the socialist? You're preaching for social programs that are going to be spent with deficit, that are going to be given to you with deficit spending. That's only going to make them tax you more. That's only going to devalue your currency more. That's only going to make you take away your power more. And I'm the socialist?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Do you all right, we know what's going to happen, right? We know that the middle class is going to go away, right? Like, you agree with that? Middle class
I completely agree.
gone?
I completely agree with that.
Okay.
It's priced out of everything.
Yeah, because if you look around, even 2020, right? Most small businesses got closed. And so like the middle class already, small business owners, they got rid of like so many. So to be middle class again, you have to like restart, you have to like, get money again. You have to either borrow money or I don't know, work your ass off somehow to get more money to start a new business. So middle class is basically going away. And then if you do make it a small business and you start to do it, then they like hit you with all these regulations, or, things like Walmart or like Amazon and stuff. Like they're so big that they can get around it. Like it doesn't matter. So like they hit you with regulations. So now you have middle class gone. Are Bitcoiners going to be the next? Like, are they going to be like the next upper middle class or like upper class? Is that like the only way? Because there's always going to be an upper class and there's going to be fiat upper class, but like are Bitcoiners just going to be the only ones that can make that gap from like, poor to rich or like middle class to rich?
That's a good question. That's a really good question, to be fair. Like, so I like personally, I make over six figures a year, right, before tax. And I'm still middle class. I'm still middle class because the middle class right now, on a fiat standard, you have to be making at least household income of like 175 to 200K per year to be a middle class. And I'm talking USD. I'm in the snow Mexican peso, okay? So I'm nowhere close, right? Maybe not even upper middle class, but like on a Bitcoin standard, bro, we have if you've been stacking for a long time, you have over millions and millions of sats. Millions and millions of sats. What do you think will happen when $1 is one sat?
What will the
You know?
price of Bitcoin be when $1 is one sat?
I don't know, that's a good question. I don't know how to do the math on that.
Yeah, we're not gonna do public math.
Yeah, I don't know how to do my I would use AI to ask this kind of question. There you go. Even though I could like, figure it out. But so in that case, we know the money's going to be devalued. What happened is that say 15 years ago you had a certain amount of, pie chart of global wealth and, Bitcoin started taking up a lot of it. I mean, I think maybe like 2%, 3% or whatever at the time. And then what happened is the pie increased cuz they increased the money supply. So obviously the extra debt has to go somewhere. And so it's flowing into assets, and you're seeing that today. So my personal opinion on all of this is that if you are currently middle class and you don't own any assets, you're going to get poorer.
Isn't that kind of
You're
sad, dude? That like every time, because I own assets, you own assets. So every time we get richer off of assets, other people are getting poorer. And it's
yes.
like, it's kind of a weird conundrum that Bitcoiners are in because we always are like, oh, money printer, Bitcoin's going to the fucking moon. And at the same time, so are other assets, dude. Gold, silver, copper, housing. Like other assets are going to the moon too. It's not just Bitcoin. And what does that mean? Everyone that doesn't own those assets, even if it's not their fault, if they're 12 years old right now, 16 years old, they can't afford assets, they're getting poorer. And we're over here cheering it on. And Bitcoiners are supposed to be the ones that are like, we want to save everyone. And so it's kind of a weird place to be in because I'm like, hell yeah, I own Bitcoin and I want Bitcoin to be worth $10 million because then I'll be Gucci, I'll be good. And I can escape this, rat race for the rest of my life. I don't have to worry about it. But at the same time, dude, if Bitcoin hits $10 million, what does everything else cost? Like everyone else is so far behind, like they'll be screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And this is the see, it's a good question. I do have an appreciation for like money spent and money got. So like for example, in the market, when somebody makes gains on an asset, it means somebody sold. And that money went from somebody that sold to somebody that bought,
Not every
right?
time though, not every time. Because
Yeah.
I mean, assets go up in price. That houses go up in price. Gold, silver go up in price. No one is out there selling $10 billion worth of gold, even though gold went up $10 billion worth of value. That's not.
Right.
Yes, I understand people are selling and people are buying, but that's not the full case. People are not just selling, and there's more people buying than selling to make the price go up. Like the price just fucking went up because inflation, because the dollar went down. It's not people got rich without selling.
Well, the bond market's actually what determines that, and I agree with you. It's just I'm gonna be very honest. I'm not a save everyone kind of guy. I'm a save myself first kind of guy.
Save
I
yourself,
always have been.
save yourself,
Yeah,
save your family.
yeah. Because like, let's think about it. In terms of just like a thought experiment, what's the difference between trying to save everyone versus a social credit system where you're trying to help everyone?
I know, and that's why I think it's so frustrating when you try to orange pill people and they don't listen.
Yeah, and low key think that's why like Nakamoto was just like, I don't really have the time to explain it to you if you don't want to learn it. Like it's a little selfish, and it's comes back to the theme that I started talking about at the beginning. You have to be a little selfish with your own energy. You have to. That's because if you, for example, are selfish with your own energy, and I'm selfish with my own energy, and that scales, and everybody's selfish with their own energy, you have essentially fixed everyone collectively by focusing on yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not of the type, like, to be like, "Okay, well, yeah, dude, buy Bitcoin because you're buying it and it's going up." I understand that it's because of things like inflation and money printing that assets are going up in value. I understand it's not because always that people are buying and people are selling, although I do have an appreciation for it. But I'm also not the type to be like, let me save you too. And my only way of doing that is like, man, just kind of like again today, like have some conviction in your energy, fix the mindset, and you will get there. But it's so slow that awareness process of man, I've fixed my life versus let me help go and fix other people's life. That mindset shift is what will act. And the thing is, it's slow. It doesn't scale. It does not scale. Not everybody's aware. You see it in the zombies that are walking every day. They're not everybody's aware, and unfortunately, not everybody is going to be.
No, no, you
You
can't
know?
save everyone. That's
Yeah.
definitely not possible. I don't want to be like Kamala Harris over here being like, equity, everyone deserves everything. Yeah. It's like, no, that's not going to fucking happen. I want everyone to have the opportunity to succeed. And
Yes.
right now, I feel like the opportunity of success is getting smaller and smaller, if that makes sense. So, it used to be if you started a business and worked your ass off, you could make it. And now it's like if you start a business, work your ass off, you still can make it, but like there's a pretty damn good chance you're not because you'll probably get shut down in some way. I mean, whether regulation, taxes, fees, all this bullshit, like is the risk worth it at some point, or do I just buy Bitcoin and hang on for dear life? I mean, that's what I'm talking about is yeah, you want to save everyone, but you can't save everyone. I understand that. But
And I think because I said it's scaling so slow, like middle class and like people that are 12 years old and 13 years old and 14 years old. You know how I think you could change all of this really fast? Because these kids are cooked, man. They're so cooked. They have no assets. They're so cooked. They have no assets. They have no idea what money is. They have no idea what awareness is. They're just out here smoking weed. Um, Scrolling, doom scrolling, outsourcing response. Like you want to fix this, you actually do. And my opinion is you should be teaching awareness in schools. You should have awareness as a fundamental value of existence in schools. And schools right now are, well, obviously you know what they are. They're freaking institutions that are meant to separate the family, in my complete honest
I
opinion.
agree.
Because again, it's like division. You conquer, you divide and conquer. Britain did this with India. You just scale it a lot higher with the money. It works the same way. You put in civil unrest, you divide the family, you start convincing people that men are women and women are men. You start messing with their food supply. All of this stuff you only understand once you're aware. Like, and awareness has to be taught in schools. You want to fix the world, that's how we do it really fast. But they're not going to. So, me personally, I'll just homeschool. Again, it's a selfish thing.
I think
It's a
that
selfish
I
thing.
think that's a really cool thing that a lot of Bitcoiners are like trying to do is like raise Bitcoiners and like the homeschool. Like because public school, I'm like, dude, there's no way. Public schools are so cooked. Like
They started teaching me about this whole gay transgender BS when I was in like grade 9.
I don't remember ever being taught. I remember we had like one gay kid in my high school, dude. We had like one gay kid. Now it's like 40% of the younger generation identify as LGBT, like alphabet club. Like it's wild.
And it's like, man, I'm like, how? How are you so separated? Like they just want to fit in. That's the reasoning is they want to fit in. And oh, I'm gonna tell you something really. It's a hot take, but I think you need to bring bullying back. Bring
No,
bullying
I
back.
agree. I agree.
Bring bullying back. Yeah, like screw it, man. Bring bullying back. You know why? Because like bullying was a way to get the weird kids to stop being weird.
Do you know how
Like
they
it was a course
Do you
correction.
know how they got rid of bullying? Is there was one kid. This is very vague, but I swear every high school had like one kid who offed himself, right, or something bad, and
Something
because
bad.
he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
bullied, right, and so,
Yeah.
so one kid always. Okay, that's really, really sad. And so they turned that one kid into stop bullying. It's so bad we need to stop bullying. But now guess what? Now there's like 10 kids per high school that do it because they're so fucking lost and they don't know
Yeah.
what they are. So congratulations, you stopped bullying because one kid did it because his feelings got hurt. And now you have, 10% of the class doing it because now they don't know what to feel because they have no feelings because they're so fucking numb. And it's like, good job, guys. Congratulations.
And here's the thing, these kids, oh man, now back then, it's fine. Smoking was a thing and everything. Like back to the substances and everything. Back when I was in high school, smoking was a thing and everything. It wouldn't fit in. People would smoke, but now they're. Oh man, these kids, like you said, 11 kids or whatever, they do this entire transition. They think they're good. They hate their life and they continue doing the substances. And then I'm like, well, you were doing the substances beforehand, which is probably, you did that probably because you were so lost and no one taught you how to feel. No one taught you awareness. So you just numbed it all. Then you just decided that fitting in was not an option because bullying doesn't exist. And then you did the transition, and then now you hate your life because you have insane amounts of problems in your body, and then now you're gonna go to more substances
Yeah. Yeah.
to continue numbing stuff.
Yeah.
How is this? It's so sad, man. You bring bullying back. Bring bullying back. Like honestly, because I was bullied.
Same.
I was bullied in school. You know, like I would do stupid shit. I would say dumb things, and then they would bully me. Yes, that's fine. I didn't go kill myself.
No, build
I didn't go
character.
transition.
It builds
Yeah.
character. Yeah.
You wanna I'll tell you a story. My dad taught me how to you know how my dad taught me how to swim? Like how I learned how to
They
swim?
just toss you in.
Toss me in.
Yep.
Deep end. Toss me in. He's like, "Swim."
Same.
I'm like, doggy paddling, but it was uncomfortable. And this relates to things like the gym. When you want to hit a PR, you do that negative rep because you want to feel the weight. It's uncomfortable. You get your nervous system ready for that uncomfort because you're gonna go through it more and it's gonna be easier more. Just push me into the water. Nowadays, oh yeah, let's make faces and bubbles in the pond. It's so cute. It's just the gayest thing ever. It's the gayest thing ever. Like there was no character building left. There was no awareness left.
And
There was
when
only
did
division
hurting
everywhere.
someone's feelings become like a right or a privilege? Like, what do you mean I can't say something because it hurts your feelings? How am I supposed to know it hurts your feelings?
Yeah, it's just what I thought, right? It's just what I thought in the moment. It hurt your feelings. Look in the mirror. Why? Ask yourself, why did it hurt your feelings? You know? Doesn't hurt my feelings. People call me like, make funny brown jokes at me all the time. I don't care. It's true. So what's there to get offended about if it's true? Like, back in high school, they'd be like, yeah, go home and eat your curry. I was like, I will. It tastes bomb. Like, like, and then, man, there's so much. There's so much. And I do honestly think we need more awareness in this world. That's what's gonna fix it. That's my answer. That really my answer for 2025 is that if you can build your awareness to the highest possible level in any way whatsoever, do it. It's the only way you're gonna get saved. You're either gonna do that or you're gonna outsource all of your authority to things like God. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but you can't really battle test any of your ideas there. You're gonna outsource everything to AI, and I'm not saying that's wrong, but again, you're just gonna be numb, and then you're gonna outsource everything to substances, and you're gonna be numb. You're gonna outsource communication skills to a freaking chatbot, and you're gonna be numb. I all I'm saying is let's make 2026 about verification. Humanity in the next 10 years, I don't think have jobs anymore because of the AI stuff that's happening today. And now is the time more than ever to train your awareness muscle so that you verify, because the value of humans as AI takes over is not numbing, is not, hiding from your problems, is not like just being like, oh, whatever, I don't want to do this, so I'm just gonna not procrastinating because you can outsource. The value of humans is verifying the outputs of AI. That's what it's going to be. Because now, if you take jobs away, what's GDP based on? What's your country's GDP based on? Wasn't it based on jobs and productivity? You take away jobs, what's it based
It's
on?
gonna be based off feelings.
Feelings.
Just kidding. I just
It's true though. Vibes, feelings,
vibes.
you know? And I'm like, holy crap.
All right.
The
Well,
the guys that will verify will win. That's what it is.
all right. Well, then let's jump in. We've already been almost going for an hour. Holy shit. But
Wow. Holy
anyway,
crap.
let's jump into 2026, man. It's a new year. I'm pumped. I'm super bullish.
Oh yeah.
America is about to have Venezuela and Greenland. So we're gonna be just, conquering territories. It's great. Um, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Imperialism. I
kidding.
love imperialism.
It,
That's another hot take. I love imperialism. You know why? Man, these banks don't have any guns and they're giving you an interest rate and credit. Like, you have the biggest guns, the biggest navy, the biggest army, the biggest everything in the world. What is international law? Fugazi. Nothing. Imperialism exists. And do it. Like, do it. Imagine this guy unites all of North America, takes Canada, takes Greenland, takes Europe, the European Union, takes Mexico, takes all of South America. This guy's gonna go down as the greatest president in the entire world because of imperial. Why did Alexander the Great? Why was he called the Great?
dude.
Imperialism exists, man.
I mean, dude,
Nobody sanctioned Alexander the Great.
dude. I mean, we literally just marched in and freaking took a president of another country and just brought him back to the United States to persecute him. Like,
That's so
uh,
hilarious.
dude, like we just went in and
I
took
think
him.
I think it's very bullish, specifically because of the oil and the critical minerals and the metals. He wants to compete with China, right? China has a chokehold on all of materials. So if you can get a chokehold on all of the energy used to produce the material, China's cooked. Like, what are they gonna do? Nothing. They're gonna close their eyes and be like, I can't see anything. Another hot take. Like, this is gonna be hilarious when you post this, man. But like, no, that's the. I'm so serious. I'm so serious because now you're gonna take. I hope he takes Canada too. I really do, because we have so many resources here that we just waste. We just waste. Um, Windmills. Yeah, let's instead of actually making more energy in Canada, let's put in windmills. Because that's really gonna do much. Let's put in solar, because that's really gonna do much in cloudy, rainy, snowy conditions. You
Yeah.
guys are so dumb. So dumb. Only country in the entire world that doesn't hold Bitcoin or gold on their balance sheet, and the only country in the G7. I am so bullish. I am so bullish that Trump took Venezuela on assets. Let me preface that. Bitcoin, I'm bullish for, but it will not run until the banks realize or the world realizes the system is broken. The system is not broken. They think the system is not broken, which is why you have insane bull runs in gold, silver, copper. Like, bull runs in gold and silver usually predict turmoil in the world, war and stuff. Copper never goes to all-time highs when that happens. Now you have copper at all-time highs. Like,
Yeah.
the market is so retarded. It does not make any sense.
So that makes
So
me extra bullish on Bitcoin because I'm like Bitcoin could just literally rip to like 250K,
any moment,
and I'm like,
any moment.
I'm here for it. I'm pumped. I'm happy for Venezuela. I think those people are really happy. I think they're gonna make Venezuela great again, and I think I think they're pretty pumped. Their stock market went up like 100 and something percent in like 2 days, which is crazy. And I'm like, good for them, man. Like, I don't know who's gonna take over, like that lady or whatever. I haven't really been paying attention to what's happened ever since we took him. But I'm like, the
I
whole
heard he
Greenland
wants to
thing.
pay Greenlanders 50 like every Greenland person like 50K to 100K if he lets them if they let him take Greenland.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, where are you gonna get this money from? Are you gonna print it?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, and dude, they'll just hit the money printer. What are you talking about? I mean, yeah, tell me your theory really quick, and then we'll kind of close out. But tell me your theory about the whole Maduro and the Bitcoin thing.
Hey, my thing is fine. You took great budget friendly way to acquire more Bitcoin, by the way. Like super budget friendly. You just take Venezuela. Just take it, right? Super budget friendly. You didn't have to print anything. But how are you gonna give 50K to 100K per Greenlander, and then just take the country without either money printing or selling the Bitcoin? And they'll sell it on the dark pool. And you'll just see it, and you'll be like, "Well, I thought we weren't supposed to sell Bitcoin that's captured or taken or stuff because that's the law." But he just took Venezuela with no regards to international law. Do you think anybody cares? No, nobody cares. Nobody cares. And my point being, when people lose faith in the justice system, the only thing that remains underneath that is violence. That is it. And you're seeing it today. There is no faith in the justice system anymore. It's a two-tiered justice system. International law doesn't exist. It's a fugazi. Sanctions don't exist. It's a fugazi. You have the biggest guns in the world. Bitcoin, you're just going to take from every country you can. And you're not even going to be, bro, he wasn't even Iraq and Iran and all that stuff. They were like, yeah, WMDs and blah, blah, blah. He's just like, no, they stole our oil. I just took it back.
I mean, I don't
You
I
know?
don't think they're gonna sell the Bitcoin. I think they're gonna keep the Bitcoin. I think they stole it. They're gonna keep it. I think what if Trump is gonna do this whole pay Greenland, like whatever, the whole population, like 100 grand a person. I think what he's gonna do is probably just pay it with imaginary money, and then
Deficit's
and then
money, yeah.
he's just gonna he's gonna I think his game plan is just to sell as much Venezuelan oil and just make America like as rich as possible doing that.
That's an interesting concept,
I
yeah.
mean, because he didn't invade Venezuela for like, he felt bad for Venezuelans, dude. Like he went in there for oil. Like, let's just be honest. He went in there for oil. They have the most oil out of anywhere in the world, I'm pretty sure. Like he
And
went
the
in
critical
there.
metals and the minerals, yeah.
They have resources, dude. Like he knew what he was doing. He's like, hey, even the Democrats when Biden was president, were saying that Maduro was bad, right? And so he's like, hey, look, I have the Democrats on my side. Of course, they switch as soon as he does it because then they're like, oh, what an asshole. They took Maduro, and it's like, wait, like literally 18 months ago, 24 months ago, you guys were like,
You
hey,
wanted it,
he's
right?
bad. Yeah. So he went in there thinking like, I'm gonna go get him. I'm gonna take all this oil, dude, and we're gonna be resource rich again. And then so we're gonna make America rich again. And then, he's gonna pay off Greenland and with like 6 months worth of selling oil, he'll like pay that investment off, and now we have 52 states, and then we'll come up and we'll capture you guys and maybe turn on a heater so you can feel better, and then
My God.
we'll have 53 states.
I'm so cold, bro.
Awesome,
Yeah,
dude.
man. That's
Awesome. No, I appreciate you doing this, dude. I hope you do feel better. What's your prediction for 2026 price?
prediction for end of
Yeah,
2026.
yeah. Like, let's just say like, yeah, Christmas, December 2026.
Okay, okay.
You,
Well, I posted on the timeline, October 19th,
oh, that's right.
2026. I got a bet. We got a bet going.
100K sats.
100K sats. Bitcoin hits 777,777.69
Six
on
nine.
October 19th. Dot
Nice.
69 on October
I'm
19th.
writing it down. I'm writing it down right now. 100, 100,000 sats. 777,777.69 Bitcoin price on December 19th.
October 19th. October
Oh,
19th.
October. Okay. Well, then you're really screwed.
Let's see, man. Let's see.
I'm gonna take the under on that one.
You're gonna take the under?
Yeah. I think if we do get a good boom in 2026, I think we see the 200K range. I think that's easy. I think that's very feasible for Bitcoin. Seeing gold, I mean, silver went up like 160%, so that would be wild. We'd be at like, what's that, like 260K or something if we
Yeah, yeah,
if we
yeah.
went that. So I'll take the under on yours, and I
Well,
can't wait
let me
to
tell you,
get that
man.
100K sats.
Let me tell you, it's not about the destination. Okay, It's only about the journey.
Boom. I love it, dude.
Boom, man.
Hey,
Let's go.
thank you guys for listening. Please like this video. Please share it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Follow Journeyman. Follow him on Twitter. I'll put your username again in the description. But dude, I appreciate you doing this, and I will talk to you later.
Take care, man.
Peace.